The Redeemer has risen.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Above Limits podcast. I'm Olympus Mons. I am the host of the Above Limits podcast, and researching, trying to figure out what I'm going to talk about. I could talk about the Kavanaugh hearings and the allegations against him, which we'll get into that. But I do a lot of debating with people, and generally they tend to have the same type of arguments in their debate with me. They pretty much come from an attempt at trying to be an authority on the subject, but they think they're coming up with these great arguments and ways to come at me, and I just feel that they are just parroting things they heard here and there, and they're under the illusion that they're coming up with original thought, and basically they're not being told how to think on these subjects. So that's where I'm at with that. But one new thing that I've thought of is the idea of the tech giants. That'd be Apple, Google, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, any other place that you get information from. That would be who the tech giants are. And the idea of these people lean to the left. They put they're not liberal. They're not Democrats. They're full on leftists. And if I define leftist, it's going to be a word that we hear more often because it's the extreme left. And these companies are leftist. They're pushing the leftist agenda. And what they've been doing lately is they've been meeting in private and forming a partnership amongst each other to combat the opposition, the opposing views to where it'll affect possibly the election coming up, or just general silencing of people, mainly silencing people that don't really stick with the status quo. They question things. They I seen the Amazing Atheist post a video of like, why are the mainstream media just so obsessed with Trump? Trump eats McDonald's. Trump drinks Diet Cokes. Trump has ketchup with his steak. You know what I mean? All these things that aren't news or news to them because they just want to repeat over and over again how much Trump is a shithead. So he made a video about that, which, when you think about the grand scheme of having alternative views that oppose the status quo, we all know that the Amazing Atheist is against Trump, but he still can ask the question. Just give the question of why are they so obsessed with them? Why is it every day, a 24-hour news cycle is devoted to the scandal of the day for Trump? which 2 weeks ago was the Manafort and the Cohen plea. A week ago it was the Bob Woodward books. This week it's Trump's nominee for Supreme Court, Brett Kavanaugh. So going back to what I was saying is these companies are working in partnership to silence and censor and lean to the left on a majority of subjects. Now, a good example is Alex Jones. We can easily say they're forming a partnership because at on one day 5 platforms just deplatformed them. And they use the terms of service violations as examples of why they deplatformed them. It started with Apple, and Alex Jones was speaking very bad of Apple's relationship with China, which that was the newest rants that Alex Jones was putting out. So he spoke bad of China. They went after him, deplatformed him, Thanos'd him. Everybody knows what Thanos. They wiped him from existence. Now he's banned off of Twitter because he confronted lawmakers and reporters that are doing their best to the lawmakers not standing up for his right to have free speech, and the reporters who are calling for his platform for him to be deplatformed. They called that was a term of service violation because he confronted them in the manner that he did. Although on Twitter I could basically show myself butt naked on there and wouldn't get banned, wouldn't be what's called obscene. And if they're so worried about violence that Alex Jones supposedly caused fear into that man, look up hood fights on #hood fights on Twitter. None of those accounts get banned. And I when I look up that, you see underage kids in fights in their middle school or high school or whatever. And those accounts don't get banned. Those aren't obscene or people being in fear. You know what I mean? Like it's so backwards. So my new question I'm asking people, okay? So we're trying to understand where the new world order comes from. Who is on the new world order? And my personal opinion is that Trump is not part of the deep state, as we say. That it is leftists that are, basically, I'm putting forward the idea that we're very close to totalitarianism. We're at the closest I've seen in my lifetime, because these people, they're accepting of fake propaganda. They're accepting of the rule of law, where when somebody accuses you of something, they just can't say it. They have to have an overwhelming abundance of evidence to convict you of crimes, or to just at least accuse you of crimes, for them to be called credible. When the left-wing media is calling these allegations against Kavanaugh credible, that we need to support the victims, when really the word they need to be saying is the accusers. They're not victims, they're accusers. And so my new thing that I'm telling people is, okay, if these companies, these tech giants, are leaning to the left, the far left, pushing an agenda, right? Okay, who else is anti-Trump on the left? You know what I mean? Like, who else is pushing that anti-Trump shit? Well, it's the mainstream media and some members of the justice system and the FBI and possibly CIA. So we can all lump those people together as being deep state easily through my whole definition I just gave you. So what about this? Alex Jones was talking a lot about China's relationship with Apple. Well, the reason why is because China is a customer to Apple. These are corporations who have to make profits for their shareholders. That's their duty as a corporation and having shareholders is to make profits for them. Now, not only is Apple a customer of China, but so is Google, so is Facebook, so is all these companies, because they're creating these algorithms, they're creating these technologies, which you can look it up. You can look up the patents that Facebook has that will once a certain advertisement, they'll have like it's a patent that they'll have a certain tone that people can't hear that will initiate something in your cell phone or whatever's connected to your device, whatever devices are connected to Facebook, or it doesn't even have to be Facebook. It has to be whoever they're selling this technology for, the highest bidder. That it will turn on the microphone and start recording the sounds just to see if you're talking about the certain advertisement. I mean, think of the implications in a police state where you could use that type of technology. That's just one patent that Facebook does have and has filed for. Each one of these companies are doing these things behind the scenes to help China in their totalitarian government with technology, in the year 2018. Look up facial recognition in China. That's how they do commerce. That's how everything's ran, is through facial recognition. You no longer have a wallet, you pay with your face. And Chinese people all look alike, so obviously it's pretty good technology. You know what I mean? To find out who you are through a whole country with millions of people that all basically look the same. In my opinion, I mean, it's not, totally accurate, but, most Chinese people just look the same. Oh, that dude's a Chinese dude, So these are the same people that are leftists, that are selling this technology to the Chinese. Now, do you think that those technologies couldn't show up in the United States or in the West? Oh, you would have to be dumb to think that it couldn't, and it wouldn't. So, whose side are you on? Okay. Now, I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you something here. We're going to go to my personal Facebook. Let's clear these layers. We're gonna go to my Facebook. We're going to pull it up. And why I still have a Facebook, I have no fucking idea. I mean, it's at some point in time, I justified it as like it's the number one place where you can interact with, you can keep in contact with people. You don't have to have their direct number, and you can always go there and, say, find out what's going on with certain people that you grew up with or that you know. So I've been seeing these advertisements for TikTok Entertainment, TikTok EN, and let's see what some people say about it. I have no idea what this app does. It says I have no idea what this is, but there are ads, or their ads are all over social media platforms, and at this point, it's beginning to get highly disturbing. Fairly sure it's designed for creepy old dudes. I still don't know what this is advertising for, and it has a lot of ads here on YouTube. Just please stop. Seriously, the worst. I'm tired of seeing this. This app is for pedophiles who are looking for little kids. Okay, so this is what I posted about it, right? Because this is nonstop on my fucking feed, and like, I went on here, and every time I see one, I'm just like, I stare at it. I just stare at it. I'm like, don't download it. That's just you're gonna get problems if you download it. Oh, this is what I put here. I was like, this is why 50 million Facebook accounts were hacked. Can you say psychological warfare wake up? Okay, that's what I put. Because this is the type of shit, like, Facebook went to Congress, right? They went to Congress, and they were saying how they have all these tools in place for people to, choose what they want, and have and be able to what's it called, make their own choice on how they can use their Facebook. And Mark Zuckerberg just basically lying, and nothing ever came out of that whole congressional hearing anyways. But basically Facebook allowed people to have their accounts compromised for the first time. And this is totally the reason why, because people don't know. Don't fucking click this stuff. Don't click it. But this is what it is. So I'm gonna have to turn the volume down because it's fucking ridiculous. Okay, so it's this whole thing right here, this chick, and the other ones are like chicks in like really short shorts, and you're just looking at them. You're just like, damn, you know what I mean? The chemicals going off in your brain are just, like, they're natural to be attracted to this, and just like, and I mean, what is this? It's just straight retardation here, like, that's retarded. What is that? But it's all over your Facebook. I mean, if you say you don't want to see it, you still will see it, So this is why 50 million Facebook accounts were hacked. And you ask Mark Zuckerberg, well, do y'all lean to the left? Are you all biased against conservative opinions on Facebook? And he's like, no, we that was just isolated incidents and stuff like that. Basically just lying, and him not being held accountable. And this is just examples of these people selling everybody out. And these are all leftist companies. These are the same people silencing their opposition, pushing the leftist agenda, and bringing the Americans really divided and full of the big thing about like fake news and the hacking of the election, because Russia had bots that would remind people of Hillary Clinton's illegal activity. That was a big thing. And I mean, you're just seeing it more and more. I just proved it to you. I mean, I just showed you examples of how they get into your getting your account information and basically, selling your data and having your data. So we don't know what happened with those 50 million people. So these are the types of things that are happening. These companies pushing a leftist agenda, and they're doing these really underhanded things that are not bringing you any closer to, that are just basically playing with people's minds, so they can feel like they are in control when they're not, and they're just doing things that are natural to them, like clicking on stuff that clicking on some attractive woman dancing around in her short shorts or a short dress, just basically, a mental masturbation shit, and you're paying the price for it. And these companies are affecting the propaganda in dealing with our government, and the information that people are just fed, where they think that they're coming up with these things on their own, and they really aren't. They're just repeating what's told to them in the news. They're repeating what they see in their echo chambers. And this is all fact. It's demonstrable. You know what I'm saying? So, those are your leftists. Those are your Democrats. Those are your liberals. That's the side you're on. You're on the side of technologies to bring forth a police state, technologies to bring forth totalitarianism, the squashing of opposing opinions, the squashing of the opinions that aren't the status quo, and the list can keep on going on. So if that's the side that you are on, know that you are supporting a shadow government. You are supporting a deep state. You are supporting the New World Order, whatever you want to call it, Illuminati, but people that are meeting in private to affect the change and in our country today. And I am totally against that. I don't like it. I don't agree with it, and I will continue to discuss it and talk more about it on my platform. If you like this channel and what I talk about in the videos I create, the biggest thing you could do is just subscribe to my channel and watch the videos. I am Olympus Mons of the Above Limits podcast. If you would like, there's links in the description. One to the Above Limits podcast.com, where you can get merch, and a link to the NWO UFO chat room, where you can chat and interact with me. I'm in there most of the day, and I have people in there that discuss this type of thing. You're more than welcome, especially if you say you saw this through the video. We'd love to have you there and become a member. It's on Tiny Chat, so I mean, it's not like a paid service or anything. It's all free. But yeah, man, we gotta wake people up and spread this message, man. That if not, we're gonna be lost. We're gonna be lost in this, and the battle's gonna be the battle's gonna be won by the opposition. So this is DJ Olympus Mons with the Above Limits podcast, of course. Until next time, peace and love, and peace and love.
We are the chosen. We are the chosen. We are the chosen. The Redeemer.